What is going to build more trust? Me telling the client, no, that's impossible, when we can organize for communication about it. The end result is not, as me speaking as you, the end result is not in my hands. Okay, I don't make the final decision, right? I am negotiation. I am mediation. My job is to open doors and to get people talking. I don't make the final decision. If I could make the final decision, I'd keep the client, but I don't get to make the final decision. And so, it's not about what you believe to be true. It's about how you can act with what you have. And there's no resolution to the problem of dominant belief system, which just chooses to not accept reality, because dominant belief system blames other people. That's what it does. Yeah. Dominant belief system just points the finger at other people and absolves themselves of responsibility. Well, what's the solution? The solution is not going to happen, because the solution is your boss saying, thank you for bringing this to me. I really appreciate it, and we're going to deal with it and work on it together. That's the solution. But your boss has rejected the solution. Yeah. Which is, at the end of the day, all the company can do is present a series of facts to the other side, and the other side present a series of facts, and you try to negotiate a balance. That's all. That's all that can be done. And at the end of the day, the other company decide yes or no based on these facts. It is not wrong for your company to have a series of facts that they present to people, and it is not wrong for the other company to wish to negotiate the best bargain that they can negotiate there. It is not wrong. These things are not wrong. And it is also not wrong to increase communication. It's also not wrong to talk about problems to find solutions. But what is wrong is to say this has nothing to do with me. That's wrong. And that's what the dominant belief system does. I think under everything, your boss is saying to you, your boss is blaming you for making a problem for him. I think that's what's under everything. And I don't think that's fair, because being in the position of boss is saying, I'm here to take on more responsibility and more problems and to find solutions. The boss's job is to take what you say and say, thank you. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what's possible. Yeah. I can imagine he's getting heat from his boss saying, why are you bringing this to us? And his response is not to accept responsibility for it. It's he should be covering you, not exposing you. That's what he should be doing. He should be covering you. The boss's job is, to protect the people under them and give them a safe place in which to do their job, not to expose them. And why are you bringing? I mean, this is a classic example. The boss in a classic example says, "Why are you bringing me these problems?" And the employee's like, "It's my job to give you information. It's my job, It's my job. My job is to solve these problems and to bring you information. And we work for a company, and the company's job is to solve problems." It's like, this is not shocking. It's not a shocking piece of news, right? Yeah. You know, if you're you can't say this to your, this is the unspoken thing. You can't say this to your boss, but the truth is that you're in that position and you're paid more to be able to solve these problems. And if you can't solve it, you shouldn't be there. And you definitely shouldn't be pointing the finger at people underneath you and saying, well, that's your fault. It's like, well, no, because the players can make mistakes, but it's the manager that gets fired if the team doesn't win, right? Remember that he's going to want to play an emotional game. And if you get pulled into the emotions, you've lost. So when you get pulled into the emotional context of things and you start to feel emotional about it, you begin to lose control. And the way to not do that is just to stick to the facts. It's just to stick to the facts. I'm here to do a job. This is my job. These are the things that I'm doing. I'm doing my job. Yeah. These are the things that the client needs. These are the things that the customer needs. I'm just doing my job. These are the facts. It's a job. We're working on it, right? These are, you know, this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. Is there space for correction in different direction? Of course there is. Of course there is. Yeah, it's a lot of people are not good at receiving bad news, right? A lot of people are not good at receiving bad news. Even harder than receiving bad news is giving bad news, right? A lot of people are not good at that, and it's necessary to it's a necessary skill to have in life. Look, those who don't deal with, look, if you want to deal with the facts of the situation, you can deal with the facts, and whatever is the result is the result. Emotions are part of our passion, but in your position, you're not paid to get emotional about about the facts, right? And if your boss is going to get emotional about it and pull emotional strings, yeah, pull personal strings, pull emotional strings, you know, that's, I think that if I was your boss and I wanted to do the right thing, you know what I would do? I'd ask you for more. I think that's a common problem. What your boss is saying, I don't want any more of this, is the subtext, right? Maybe of what he's saying. And I think that the only way to solve the problem is to say, okay, tell me more about the problem. And maybe we can realize that the problem is important and needs to be dealt with, or maybe we can realize it's not really that big a problem, or it's something that we can't control anyway. And if we can't control it, then, you know, it's out of our hands. It's out of our hands. But like the boss's job is to support the employees with support the people with everything they need. A part of that might be constructive criticism, but you don't want to play an emotional game, and you don't want the people under you to get emotionally frustrated without acknowledging that, you know, without going into, without you know, specifically talking about the emotional frustration element, and, you know, acknowledging it, and then realizing that you can deal with it. Giving a person frustration and then sending them off. You know, you don't want to do that ever, right? You don't want to do that you don't want to talk to your kids, make them frustrated, and then send them away. You know, it's not the right way to communicate with people. Yeah, you know, it's not leadership. Bosses should be leaders. You go to the leader for advice and strategy and something to make you feel better about what you're doing. If you leave a conversation with your boss not feeling good about what you're doing, then there's not a very good boss. That's my perspective. Does that make sense? I don't know, does that make sense? Yeah. Well, look here. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but here's a strategy that I've used sometimes. When someone frustrates me, I acknowledge the frustration and ask them to tell me more. So for example, if you say something to me that annoys me or frustrates me, I would say, oh, well, that's really frustrating for me. So can you tell me more about it? You know, the boss's job is to help the the people under them create strategy for moving forward, right? You know, it's not the what that people need to know. It's the how, right? Everybody knows what. It's really easy. Everybody knows what, but the how and the why are much more complicated. Yeah. So yeah, never forget where you came from. Right? Never forget where you came from. It's always a mistake. All right. And don't get you did the right thing, you know? It's like you felt frustrated and you said, okay, let's move on. Don't get pulled into it. Yeah. Because that's another 1 hour talk about nothing, right? Yep. Yep. Pointless. Absolutely pointless. Absolutely pointless. Yeah. You know, here's an analogy to finish with, right? This is real. So I told you I was at a castle with my kids yesterday, right? And around the bottom of one of these big walls, this old ruined castle, there was some broken glass. And me being observant parent was doing the environmental safety check, you know, it's okay, this is safe, you know, what's here, you know, do my thing. And I saw this broken bottle and these broken bits of glass. And I thought about picking up the broken bottle and picking up all the little pieces of broken glass. I thought about it. And then I thought, it's not my job. It's not my job. And I'm going to be, and it's going to take up my time, and it's going to cause X many other problems. And that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to be with my kids.
Yeah.
I'm not here to clean up other people's mess. And maybe it would be a good thing to do, but I'm not, that's not my job, right? I'm not here to do that. And, you know, we've got to realize what we're here to do and do that and leave the other stuff. Leave the other stuff. We just have to sometimes. Yeah, can't solve all the problems. Okay.